that this money will change their life, not just for them, but maybe their whole family. Closed 12, almost 13 million in total volume. Day to day, my goal is to do 35 contacts and to set at least one appointment. I sometimes will get to like 40 or more if I haven't set an appointment. Some days I will set like 2 appointments because, I'll get one after 10 contacts and then I'll just keep going to 35. So one of the reasons why I posted what you saw on Facebook is, I had gone through a romantic split, and a lot of people said, how are you going to survive without that income? And I think that that's something that a lot of females go through when they're considering whether or not they should leave a partner that they should be leaving, because they've become dependent upon that income. So I was concerned at the time about changing the lifestyle for my children that they had become accustomed to, good schools, the finest clothes, all this type of stuff that as parents, we place importance on for our children. I said to myself, I am not going to sacrifice their lifestyle to be happy. So I needed to be happy. I needed to leave that relationship. Yeah. But I had to figure out a solution for my income to where my children wouldn't be affected. And I really posted that because there's a lot of people who said, you'll never do it. You're not capable. Because this is a person who made millions on Wall Street. And I fulfilled that myself. I can take care of my whole family based on what I do in real estate.
I love that. And there's a definitely high sense of motivation right there, right? Especially when you want to give back. Because sometimes, if you didn't have the kids, sometimes after a while, we can get used to maybe the bare essentials sometimes in life, right? We can, kind of, I don't know, maybe dumb it down. The vacations are different. Everything we have is different. But when
it's not even so much about stuff, right? Like stuff is great. And I think a lot of people put importance on the best car or the fanciest handbag. For me, it's about independence, freedom, and happiness. And that's worth so much more than just a new car.
No doubt about it. I guess it's that quality of life that, you and the kids had. And maybe was it to think of like, I don't know, maybe downgrading any aspect of those things had to be a little bit of a motivation to say, I want them to feel like life is the same with mom. Mom can do these things. You're kind of showing to them what a mom can do if they were to come into, any kind of situation like that, right? And, it sucks that people probably thought that you weren't going to be able to do it. But man, why? It may be the greatest fuel you have, in addition to having the girls to begin with, right? And so having people say you can do something, geez, tell a woman they can't do it. If I tell my wife she can't do something, she's going to go do it probably, right? So I just go, yes, let's do it, right? So I think that's really big.
As I build my business, Chris, one thing that I really want to do is help people who are interested in getting into real estate, who are either from underserved communities, that this money will change their life, not just for them, but maybe their whole family. And also women. I feel like I've learned this skill. I know how to grow $1 million business in a short period of time. And I want to help others to learn how to do that too. So that's the next step for me.
That's huge. And we're going to get to some next step questions. And also that's a mindset of abundance, right? Because, there's so many deals out there in most of these real estate offices. I don't know if you've seen this, but being in the business as long as I have, a lot of the people that are doing a lot of the business, they're hiding away. There's no telling what they're really doing to get business sometimes. And, it's weird, right? You'll find out they're spending $20,000 a year on mail outs or something like that. Who knows what's going on? But when you have that abundance mindset and that there's enough deals, then heck, you can show people in your city, in your state, and of course all across the nation and the world, what it takes to get done. And there's enough deals out there for us all. I want to dive into a little bit more of the day-to-day because it's fun to talk about these other things, but, let's talk about, a little bit of production and then go into what does the day look like? How does lead generation look like for you? So let's start off with, you've been here now in Dallas for how long? For 12 months, roughly?
12 months.
12 months. What does that mean to you in regards of how many transactions have you had? And, what is kind of your average transaction right now? Because you were talking, I'm a luxury agent. Maybe the deal may be a little bit more higher end, but I'm doing 4 or 5 deals a year. I got my real estate license, so I put top producer immediately on Facebook and Instagram. What is your 12 months in this brand new market, showed for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you guys can see my boards in the background,
I
but
see a little bit of a board back there.
I've closed 38 transactions thus far. I've closed 12, almost 13 million in total volume, 382,000 in GCI. And then we have another 6 pending. So that I believe will close before the end of the year. So we should finish the year about 44 transactions.
Of course, I want to talk about lead gen and, whether it's phone prospecting, door knocking, I'd imagine you're not over here buying Zillow leads or buying zip codes and doing all these things that we get, pushed upon us on a regular basis. Tell me a little bit about your lead generation activities. What are your favorite lead sources and how does that play out to your day to day?
And in the morning, I call expireds and FSBOs only. In the afternoon, I door knock just sold and just listeds. And now that I actually have a database of past clients, I'm starting to integrate calling them as well. I didn't when I first started, so that wasn't a lead source for me. Door knocking has been huge for me because nobody else does it. And actually, I started door knocking expireds and FSBOs because while everyone's calling them, very few people are actually knocking on their doors. So it gives you the opportunity to stand out. Day to day, my goal is to do 35 contacts and to set at least one appointment. So I sometimes will get to like 40 or more if I haven't set an appointment. Some days I will set like 2 appointments because, I'll get one after 10 contacts and then I'll just keep going to 35.